Okay, beauties, here we are. We have a yin practice for the earth element actually, and so this is very much about, as most of you know, bringing into balance the stomach and the spleen meridians, and I particularly like this practice when I'm feeling really like scattered, or I'm quite like yangy, like I'm really I'm very much in my fire element. So I find the earth just brings in that level of like calming, grounding, helps me to get present, and all the other things that come with being on the earth. I always suggest to have as many props as you can, but you know, like make do with what you've got. And I do want to start with a point here. So I might come up to the camera in a minute. This is called the 3 yin meeting point. It's an acupressure point called spleen 6. And before I show you it, just so you know why we're doing this, this is very much about moving any type of stagnation in our blood through our body. And what I find is when I have that stagnation occurring, that it manifests quite often as frustration and irritability. So I just want to get onto this point first. So it's the stomach, it's the 3 yin meeting point, which actually crosses over the stomach, the spleen, and I'm pretty sure it's the large intestine. Don't quote me on that. Okay. So let's see if I can show you this. So you're going to go, so where your ankle bone is here, you're going to go above that bone. And in acupressure, we talk about measurements of sun, or kun. I like sun. And it's 3 of our own fingers, so it's the middle 3 fingers that we're working with. That is equal to 2 sun. So from your ankle bone, so superior to the bone of your ankle, you're measuring 3 fingers. Place another finger there, and that is spleen 6. So let's just do this. So with your legs crossed, I find that's the easiest way to do it. And then measure 3 fingers above your ankle bone. It's a big bone that sticks out there on your inner leg. And then there's actually a bone there, so you want to just go behind that bone, because we're not on the bone. So you got your 3, and then your next finger comes and holds onto that point. So you are applying some pressure. And I always find that this point is particularly intense on one side, but for you guys it might be intense on both. Just holding that down, and then start to make little circles. So it's really important to remember when we're working with acupressure points that we're not digging into the body, like trying to find something. We're learning how to actually move chi. So it's a circular movement with applied pressure, yes, but it's not like a real digging in, kind of excavating type situation. And so what you're feeling for is like a systematic release. So for me, it comes like, I'll go like, suddenly feel like there's a down regulation that occurs in my nervous system. You can pause the video and go on this for as long as you want to. Changing sides. See, for me, it's such a noticeable difference on this side. It's almost like 2 different legs. Women, this is a really good point. I don't know for you if you get that real stagnating blood just before you bleed, this is a really good point to just get that moving. That when there's the real frustration just before a bleed, which I get most months, that again is the stagnation of blood. So things aren't able to move, there's a buildup of tension and energy, and that manifests as frustration. And again, you can pause the video, go as long as you like with that one. And then let's get started into the practice. So we're going to begin with child's pose with a twist. So your big toes touch, knees are wide apart, and then I want you to feed your right arm underneath your left. So you might have a block nearby to rest your head on. You're just going to take your left arm straight ahead. So, as most of you are aware, when we're working with this energy, usually it's because it is out of balance, and we're looking to bring in some level of balance. Imbalances in the stomach and spleen meridian look like overthinking, over worrying, anxiety, all of that stuff. And so what we're aiming to do is to open up the channels so that chi can flow through those lines, which brings the body into some level of homeostasis, like balance. Just slowly making your way out of that. So you might just take a moment or two, either on your belly or your back, or and letting your body integrate the change. And then changing sides. This time you've got your right arm straight ahead, left arm goes under. So I like to have the outer side of my head, the left side, resting on the earth or a block. Now you can also add in a bit of a twist. If you want to take your right arm behind your back, you're starting to open up a little bit more there through the front of the body, also so meridian lines, stomach and spleen move through the front and back. Remember, we're not on a journey of trying to like find anything particularly. We're actually just putting our body into these shapes and then allowing for the energy that needs to shift to do that really without much effort from us. It's more of a passive, receptive practice. Particularly with the element earth, it's a very yin-like quality, as opposed to the more yangy meridians like the wood and the fire element. So think about that real receptivity. It's very much about our ability to receive information, to process it, and then to like move it out into the world. It's again coming out pretty slow. You can either rest down onto your belly or your back. And start to notice that phase change occurring. Like, how does it feel for you physically? For me, it's like almost an instant. All right, beauties, so come into sitting when you're ready. Just take your time to get there as always. And then we're gonna move into saddle or half saddle. So if you know what they are, you're welcome to just head straight in. You might want to work with a bolster if you're lucky enough to have one. So of course, your half saddle version, we'll start with the left knee bent, and I will let you guys know when we are halfway through. So remembering with these options, you can just come back, rest on your hands. You can come down onto your elbows. Maybe the options come all the way down if that's there for you today. Otherwise, it's full saddle, and again, both knees are bent. You can sit in between your heels. You can sit on your heels. You can sit on a block, and of course, you can use a bolster. It's going to be in this one a little bit longer than the others. And like I said, if you're doing the half version, then I'll let you know when we're about halfway. So just getting into the top, like sort of hip flexor quad region, which is where both the stomach and spleen lines kind of run through. You might want to take your arms over your head even, or not, depending. And it's a nice practice that I like to do when I'm working with earth, particularly when I'm in a pose that's really close to the ground. It's like this visualization of the earth draining from me all the toxicity, all the tension, all the old energy that is no longer needed. And changing sides if you are working the half version. If you're in the full version of saddle, it might mean that there's an opportunity here to maybe move any props away. Or it might also mean that now that you've actually felt into this, that you don't need to go as deep. So maybe there's a coming out a little. So for those of you who've been in saddle, it might be a very gradual, like phase by phase moving out. Again, just take whatever time you need. So you might even work with your knees bent for a little. You come down onto your back. And just allowing whatever you need in order to kind of uptake half saddle people. It's quite nice to roll onto your straight leg and release from there, but yeah, whatever works. Alrighty. Coming on up. Oh, I'm going to move into butterfly pose. So I prefer this with my heels a little bit further away from the ground. Again, it's kind of the whole of the leg line, really, like the inner leg and the top of the leg that we're working. But also you might feel into the outer leg line as well. So you're not going to hear like the long ones previously, but still a decent amount of time. Something I personally like to do is to use a block just to support my head to begin with. This does two things. So it stops me from going too deep too quickly. But it also helps me relax so that my parasympathetic nervous system, so the one that controls our resting state, is able to kick in. beauties. So again, just slowly, slowly. Start to make your way down to either your belly or your back. So allow for the phase change to occur. Alright, beauties, so coming on up when you're ready. Now we're going to move into Dragonfly, so you can do this on the wall, which I might actually do today. It's a bit more restorative. And of course the other option is to come off the wall, so you're in a straddle, either no props, or you can also sit on a block or a blanket of some description, and then again you're just easing forward, so there's no need to force. So again, just really noticing whichever parts of your body that are in contact with the earth. Like, what is the relationship? Do you feel connected? Are you aware of your body on the earth? Can you feel like the energetic exchange? helping your legs together. You might want to take your legs up the wall if you're on the wall, or maybe just find your way again to the floor. And just notice the quality of energy that is present now. Now we've moved below the surface. It's become more and more connected to what is really here, beneath the noise. Alright, beautiful ones, come into sitting or whatever else you need to do. We're moving to our final pose before Shavasana. So a twist of any description really. I'm going to do twisted roots. I'm going to start with my right leg over the left. You can cross it once or twice and then taking both knees over to your left. So you might have your right arm up by your ear, maybe out to the side a little bit. You can always pop a block underneath your knees. And then the other alternative, if this is not really an option for you today, is just to stack your knees. So you're in a modified, sort of a really simple spinal twist. And just notice if there's any resistance to being held by the earth. Like if there's a particular area of your skeleton that doesn't want to completely let go. And just encourage you over the next little bit of time to trust that it's okay to soften. Like it's a safe space. If you want to stay longer, then by all means do. Otherwise, bringing yourself back through center. Maybe a moment or two to integrate there. And then, it's a tighter side for me on this side. Like transitioning to second side. And just even noticing, like the tension patterns in our own body. And then again, looking for where else you can relax your skeleton. Like each individual joint in your body. And then again, come in slowly, slowly out. Making your way to rest for a few moments before official Shavasana. And then if official Shavasana is where you want to go, as in you're happy to take it lying on your back, then by all means stay. You might want to also do something like legs up the wall, or go back to maybe a straddle on the wall. Another thing I like to do in a sort of stomach spleen practice is to lie down over a roll or a bolster of some description for Shavasana. That's what I'm going to do today. And whatever you choose, let this time be about kind of deepening your own personal connection to how you experience the qualities of earth, physically and energetically. Invite your breath in. To feel for what's changed, what's shifted, what's remained the same. Just keeping your eyes closed, transition to one side. Coming up to sitting slowly. Just bringing your hands to rest now, easy at your heart. Namaste.